Hello. So this will be my first negative rebuttal for health-related grounds. So I have watched my partner's rebuttal, and as he makes very good points about what COVID has done to the F1 visas with students and everything like that, where it's not fair to them that they don't have the option to go to school in person, therefore they do need to leave. I actually found an article from a website of University of Washington. In the article, they discuss that the government actually have already made temporary changes and allowances to F1 and J1 regulations. So they've already made those adjustments because of COVID that they can actually stay here. And I'm not exactly sure on what um, the regulations are, but they're allowed to stay here because of COVID and that they can't control COVID. I think that they can do online schooling and that counts as in school schooling because Zoom classes are counting as online, as in person, excuse me. So that is already in play. So looking at if anyone's winning the debate, I feel like I am already because having this regulation in already trumps his argument on students being treated not fairly because of COVID and health related grounds. And this just proves right here that they are being treated perfectly fine. Like, just because COVID's a thing doesn't mean they're not being thrown out of the country and it's not their fault. They're still going to school here and they're going online. So they actually have they get a better deal now because they don't even need to go in person and they get to stay in the US. So they actually have it so much better now. So that just proves that his argument already is kind of that argument is already out of here because they are being treated fairly and fine and they are not leaving the country because of COVID. The second thing that he addressed in his rebuttal about how the US fights with certain countries like Iraq and we fight together. And he's talking about how the troops cannot come into the country if they have gotten diseases from these third world countries, which do have a lot of diseases in them. And as that is true, at the end of the day, we have to look at everyone as a whole. We can't just look at, oh, well, these people are troops and these are heroes. Like, we should look past that for the heroes and so on and so forth. Well, then that goes with the talk of, well, what if just an ordinary person wanted to come into the country? We're supposed to look past if they have a disease that can affect heroes in the United States. Like, if we allowed everyone to come to the country with diseases that affected the United States, we have heroes in the United States that could be affected by that. So prioritizing certain amount of people is just inhumane for one, and it wouldn't work out because you can't kind of test people and kind of not. And getting rid of it affects people living in here. Getting rid of health related grounds affects the children in here. It affects other cultures in here and everywhere and any other people that live in the United States. If someone is not tested before coming to the United States and they have a life-threatening disease that can be spread, it can cause so many more issues than if they just happen to get better before coming to the United States. And that might sound a little inhumane because he did mention that outside the United States, like, some people aren't able to get the right health care. But even in the United States, it's kind of the same way. Like, you need the same tools to get the same health care. And yeah, it might be a little bit different in a third world country, but at the end of the day, we do need to look out for the people who are in this country, not the people out there. No one's looking out for us out of our country, so why should we have to do the same? We do allow a lot of people into our country, and it's very unusually rare for us to just say no to people that are in our country. We look out for so many people outside our country. Like he's mentioned, we fight with Iraq and other countries and help them. So we help people in a different way, and sometimes not letting them into our country isn't something against them. It's something that we have to prioritize our people. And that's how I feel I'm winning, because I feel that at the end of the day, this is about people's safety. This is about the safety of your kids, your niece, your nephew, your aunt, your uncle, your grandparents. And at the end of the day, you have to prioritize a little bit. You can't just have a mentality of overlooking everyone and as a whole, when sometimes you do need to prioritize, okay, do I want to allow people from another country to come in here and jeopardize the health of my loved ones, or do I want to protect my loved ones? And I don't know about you, but I would want to protect my loved ones. So I believe that they need to go through the protocols of health related grounds and be tested and so on and so forth. And because of COVID, there have been so many other countries that weren't allowing people in because of COVID, and everyone's been saying that that's okay. But now health related grounds is an issue, which it never should be because there's nothing wrong with wanting people to be healthy before entering a place where there's so many people already living here. And the argument where they can't get the healthcare they need in the other countries, that is super unfortunate, but there are ways around that. I believe that the United States actually can refer you to physicians that they know out of the country, which can help you get in the country as well. And there are other things that are stopping people from coming in the country, not just health related grounds. So all of those reasons makes me believe that I'm winning, just because at the end of the day, like I've stated, it's about the safety of our people and the safety of the people that already live here. And at the end of the day, we have to look at that as a whole rather than everyone in the whole entire world as a whole. Thank you.